Yes, we're going a little bit off the rails here, but I feel that this is an important subject to talk about the fact that nobody has spoken about this and the difference that has happened because of this. As you see here on the screen, we're talking about Eyewitness News, WABC TV, and it moved in February from Lincoln Square to a new Disney campus located at Hudson Square in Lower Manhattan on February 22nd, 2025. And ever since that has happened, I have seen Eyewitness News turn into an absolute joke. It's tabloid news now. They cover mostly entertainment, politics, and very little of the crime and stories that affect our day-to-day lives. And today, Friday, June 6th, was a perfect example of that. And we're going to first show you the WABC homepage. And they're just all over the Diddy trial. They're just all over the Diddy trial. Here, for some reason, the site doesn't work right. It's like, I got to like screenshot it almost. I don't know what's going on here, but it's like I got to do this because that moves. I'm not sure why. I have to load Earth Fan View and get a better view of the homepage here. Just to show you what happened here. So, it's all about the Diddy trial. I mean, they spend so much time on it. You can see they have multiple stories on this. It's tabloid news. Who the hell cares about the Diddy trial? All right? It's like every day it's about the Diddy trial. It's ridiculous. It really is. And they barely cover crime. They barely cover crime. So, again, we look at the page you see here. All about, they have multiple stories. They spend like, I was watching WABC TV from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. Actually, I watched basically 4 o'clock news to 5 o'clock news and the 6 o'clock news. And they're all leading with the Diddy trial. They barely cover crime. And you can see here, there's very little, there's one story. One crime story. A couple of crime stories here toward the bottom. All right. But mostly they're talking about the Diddy trial. And politics. Oh, they're all over the primaries. All right. They haven't even covered the murder on Long Island. You see it's missing from the site. The woman murdered in so they haven't even covered that, all right? I don't want to make this too long of a video, but it does seem like ever since they moved downtown that it has become tabloid news. And this isn't affecting because if I look at WPVI, all right, they're covering actual news. You don't see anything about Diddy. And for some reason, their site loads just fine. I don't have a problem with it. All right, they're not talking about any of the political news. This is actual real news they're covering. All right, but when we go to WABC, it's all about the Diddy trial, and they have so many stories, live updates. They have live updates. They have a whole thing about this. I mean, it's ridiculous. 13 minutes they spent on this.
Good evening. I'm Mike Mars. As we take another look back at another day and what was another week of testimony.
So this is who they gear to. It's tabloid news. It's obviously geared to that Wall Street demographic that wants to watch all this kind of crap. All right. It's political news. And if we go, let's go to New York City here. That's the top story. A beloved Italian-based specialty store closing. There was another shooting on the subway today. I don't even see it here. Oh, that's another thing. Harvey Weinstein. They're all over that. All over that. How much time? That got 3 minutes and 21 seconds. These are all stories that gear to Wall Street people, right? The white finance professionals, the chosen ones. I don't want to really go too much into it. But it's obvious that they're not covering what affects... Yeah, teen stabbed, another punched at a subway station. Barely covered it, I think. Let's see. 21 seconds.
Breaking news out of Brooklyn.
That gets 21 seconds. So this is the kind of stuff that affects day-to-day people in New York, and they don't give a crap about it, all right? They don't. Service disruptions in Amtrak. Let's see if they even covered this one. 26
Tonight
seconds.
we begin with breaking news and major service disruptions for Amtrak and Metro North. Right now, all Amtrak service between New York Penn Station and New Haven is suspended. Same with Metro North service.
26 seconds. They don't even send the reporter. No, they'd rather talk about P. Diddy. So it's obvious that Disney has destroyed the Eyewitness News. It really has become an utter joke. And this isn't. I feel bad because there are a lot of people that have been there a long time that are very seasoned journalists that are forced to purvey this kind of garbage. All right. Nobody gives a crap about P. Diddy. Nobody gives a crap about Harvey Weinstein. We're tired of hearing about the primaries. Let's talk about the stuff that affects day-to-day people. All right. That they don't do that. And this is different from News 12 because these are actually stations that are licensed by the Federal Communications Commission and are required to do news, and they're not doing it. So this is grounds for a possible FCC complaint against Eyewitness News, WABC TV, and Disney, because it's obviously Disney has just destroyed it. All right. And if you really want to watch a quality ABC news, watch WPVI. But Eyewitness News is now tabloid news. Now let's compare it to the other stations have. All right. All right. We'll first start with CBS. All right. There's the Diddy thing on the bottom. All right. Talking about violence. Talking about stuff that affects day-to-day people. All right. Tarrytown vandalism. Somebody was hurt by a kite string on a New York City bridge. Dangerous. All right. Go to NBC. They're covering Queens high school student detained by ICE. There's some political news here, obviously, but we have mostly stuff that affects day-to-day people. Summer heat. Obviously, we've been dealing with poor air quality. And I don't really see too much about Diddy on here. Top video. See, they're covering the woman shot to death inside a car at a Long Island apartment complex. ABC didn't cover this at all. I think you can still see if CBS covered it. I don't know. Probably on here somewhere as well. All right. But NBC is the best one, though, because they seem to do a very good job on this. Go to Fox 5. All right. Also talking about stuff that affects day-to-day people. All right. I see some crime here. There's one story on the Diddy thing. There's some Weinstein stuff, but generally, it's better than ABC. All right. Go to Channel 11. Now, 11 is sort of like tabloid news. Right, there's the closest thing that's really come. But even they're covering some crime. 2 accused of beating a Bronx man to death last month. This didn't even get covered by ABC at all. All right. But only NBC is covering what happened in the city stations have a tendency to really forget about Long Island. NBC is not, though. They also covered the Jones Beach incident at Jones Beach, as well as this. And News 12 also. News 12's actually been doing an excellent job. News 12 Long Island. They've actually been covering a lot. They've been covering a lot of stuff that affects people. All right. They've actually been doing ever since, I don't know what it is, that they really, something has changed at News 12, and they're doing a very good job covering crime and things like this now. So we will no longer call them South Shore 12. They are News 12 Long Island, all right? But as far as Eyewitness News goes, it's now tabloid news. It's Disney's tabloid news New York edition. And it's really a shame what has happened to what was once the number one news. I don't think it is anymore. But this is what happens when you have somebody who Disney has no business running a news, period. Actually, we can look at the national news too and take a look and see ABC News. Let's see. We'll compare the big three here. ABC News. We'll compare the big three here. All right. CBS News. I could just go to CBS News. CBS News, they just kind of split it off the main thing here. And NBC News, the big three networks. And compare and see what they're all covering here. So it looks like, yeah, mostly political stuff, because that's usually what the national news will do, is mostly political stuff. No surprise. That's why I'm not a fan of national news, one of these national news networks, too much. But ABC, again, this Diddy. I don't know what it is with ABC, but I'm telling you, ABC, you guys are a joke right now, all right? I mean, just a joke. It's tabloid. Tabloid news. This is what Disney gets you. This is what Disney gets you. So, of course, they have lots of entertainment on here. You know, all this stuff. Every hour they got an entertainment thing going on, usually self-promoting Disney stuff. Yeah, it's a real shame. And then you go to this live stream that they've got, which half the time doesn't have. This is not even news. Localish. I mean, who cares, you know? And then sometimes they throw you in this, like, then the news is supposed to start. They throw you in the loop. And they put this on. They put that on, and they make you sit in that, like, on their stream when the news is supposed to be on. Because if you look at their schedule, just point one more thing out, and then I'm going to end this here. But if you look at their schedule, like, this happens every Saturday. You look at this, and you're like, oh, good, they've got news that starts at 5 o'clock. We're going to get more than a half an hour news. You're like, great. But what winds up happening is these stupid sporting games run late. They always run late. And then if you're watching the stream, because there's a streaming TV where I go, if you're watching the stream, they'll put that loop thing on for like 30 or 40 minutes. Instead of actually showing the news, you get chipped out of the news. I mean, Disney has ruined Eyewitness News. It's a shame. I don't want to make this video, but somebody had to say it.